real estate is changing. Technology isn't taking the place of us, but it's making those agents and real estate firms who embrace it able to sell more homes and in a shorter period of time. I have learned more about video conferencing in the last 3 weeks than I ever thought I would need to learn, but it's been pretty valuable, and I can honestly say we're going to keep using it for years to come. So and it's not going to change who we are and how we connect. It's just another tool we need to use. And this was a quote I ran across yesterday, and I thought this was really relevant. I've had dreams and I've had nightmares, but I have conquered my nightmares because of my dreams. Couple of company announcements. Just a reminder, Sarah and Sabrina are working remotely. They're coming in some, but just email them, call them with questions. If you have anything related to earnest money or your checks, they're available to help you during normal business hours and even later. So please reach out to them if there's something you need. And another reminder about leading RE. I'm so proud of y'all. When I showed this slide 3 weeks ago, there were only 2 names on it that had logged in the last 30 days. So y'all have been busy, and I'm proud of y'all for signing up, especially Marty, Doug, Monica, Tracy, Tammy, Rebecca, and Chris.
Hey.
And just a reminder, if you are on the call, put your cell phone mute unless you have a question, just to reduce some of the feedback we might get. Current mortgage interest rates, they haven't changed much. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Just a quick question. Raise your hand if you've had an issue with the lender helping your clients get approved. Has anybody had an issue? Okay, so that's good. Haven't had any issues. It's been smooth. Y'all, and that's all with local lenders?
No.
Who have you been working with, Alan?
I'm just talking about a couple of the girls that I've talked to recently. Chantrell, for example. Her buyer had an out-of-town lender, or has an out-of-town lender. There are still a number of those. A lot of it appears to be military that are using out-of-town lenders.
Okay.
I have one from Tennessee. It's a local credit union, and it's been going really smooth.
Good.
I haven't had any close to closing with USA or Navy Fed. That's next month, so we'll see how the next couple weeks go with that one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Some company news. Tomorrow, if you're here and want to swing by, we're going to have 13th Street barbecue sandwiches on the deck at noon. Looks like the weather's going to be nice. We're going to order a bunch of sandwiches and some tea. If you want to wear your COVID socks to the deck tomorrow, please wear your Bickerstaff Parham COVID socks. And, you know, socks are fun. Share a picture on social media. Have some fun with them. Some of you already did that yesterday, which I greatly appreciate. I failed to mention this last week, but if you see Ree, talk to her, or just send her a text, congratulate her on the birth of her grandson. Ree is now a grandmother, which is so exciting. And happy belated birthday to Rhonda. She had a birthday a few days ago, and Kappa has a birthday. Kappa, are you on the line? Your birthday, I think, is today, isn't it?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, Kappa.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, lady.
Happy birthday,
Yes.
Kappa.
Thanks.
And if you've been in the office, you've noticed the Davidson Saunders team created a brand and logo, but they officially launched it on social media this weekend, and just want to say congratulations to them. Our May calendar hopefully will be sent out tomorrow, and we're going to have a sales meeting on Wednesday, every day, but every week except the Wednesday after Memorial Day. Next week, May 6th, we will have a regular sales meeting presentation. And then at the end of that, we'll keep the meeting open for another 10 or 15 minutes and invite David Fox from Colonial Life. He's going to discuss Colonial Life. If you've never heard of them, they are a competitor of Aflac, and they offer similar products. But the reason he's coming on the call and we're bringing him in is because they offer a higher level of customer service, and that's really important to me. We have enrolled some of our property management staff in Colonial Life policies. I love Aflac, the company, and their policies, but I haven't heard from our sales rep in 2 years. And lots of new agents have joined this company, new staff have joined, and they have not been offered any of these products in the past. So if you're interested in learning about Colonial Life, please mark down May 6th to stay on for another 10 minutes after the sales meeting. And I'm going to stay on screen and leave this meeting open for another 10 or 15 minutes after the presentation. Just if anybody wants to ask questions about what we discussed or has a concern they want to address, I'll leave the meeting open for a few minutes after this. Oh, one thing I wanted to touch on today, and I will, I'll email out these slides so that you can have a copy of them, because there's a few links in the presentation. I read a great article from Harvard Business Review titled "Building Your Resilience." And Harvard Business Review always comes out with some very timely topics. And I wanted to share those with you this morning. And you'll see in the link, when I send this to you, you can click on it to view the article if you'd like to read it. This probably takes about 2 or 3 minutes. But they talk about 3 things to help you build resilience. And I want to share those 3 things, but also give you some suggestions on what you could do to support these. So 1, building your resilience is to have a high level of confidence in your abilities. And one way to do that is to reassure yourself of your skills, refamiliarize with them, which some of you are doing on Institute by completing those courses. Watching our sales meeting on YouTube, that's what I was doing earlier when I found the video of Raylon's and why you should hire a full-time agent versus a part-time agent. But I also went back and looked at some of the sales meetings that we created 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. And a lot of those cover the topics we've been discussing in the past few weeks, which is pretty interesting. But one of the best ways to have a high level of confidence in your abilities is to understand your Clifton strengths. And just a quick show of hands, who has completed the Clifton Strengths assessment? Let me stop my share so I can see y'all. Okay, so who has not completed the Clifton Strengths assessment? Okay. Well, what we're going, oh my gosh, Mary Albrecht, are you in your car driving, raising your hand, and you're zooming in your car? Yeah. That is a strength. So we're going to purchase some more assessments from Kim and Jessica, and those of you who have not completed one and want to, just send me an email and I'll give them your information and they will send you the link to the assessment. I've been reviewing mine, and I'll share mine with you. I've been reviewing mine each morning, just my top 5 strengths. And this is what I found to be pretty interesting. So if you've completed your assessment, you'll want to download or print your Clifton strengths. There's a report, but the second page of the report gives you an action plan. And I'm going to come back to that in a minute, but there's some great information on here, and I cannot tell you how much that's helped me connect with my strengths, especially in a time like this when we need to be reassured and focus on the things we're good at doing. That's going to help us be resilient. Let's go back to our slides. The second one is discipline routines for work. And I've included another video link, getting into a habit. You could pick up a copy of The Power of Habit here at the office. You could learn to time block. You could watch a TED Talk video on YouTube that talks about rituals, routines, or habits. But, this crisis is not going to end next week or next month. And to be resilient, getting in a routine, especially while we're spending so much time out of the office or in our own homes, developing some good habits. We laugh about, and everybody's joking about the bad habits about opening the fridge or, leaving snacks out in every room of the house, but it is true. So maybe we don't want to focus on our personal routines now, but routines for work, time blocking, schedule some time in the morning to work on your business. There's some great resources there on how to develop those routines for work. And then a really important one is social and family support. I've talked to a lot of folks who haven't been able to, hug their parents in weeks. One of my friends, has to talk to his dad from the driveway because he is very, very high risk and recently had a surgery, and he's not leaving the house. So, he could go over and talk to his dad every day at a specific time if he wanted to. But you got to be intentional about those things. So if you really want to maintain social and family support, maybe schedule a Zoom time or, FaceTime with some of your friends or family on a Sunday afternoon or a Monday afternoon. I've noticed a lot of folks are hosting watch parties on Facebook where you're watching a video together and you can comment and message each other. But maintaining that connection is so important. Let me see if I can go to my next slide. Okay, so the second part of our meeting this morning is to dive a little deeper into Clifton strengths. For those of you that have, log into your account, print or download the 34 results report. It's a 25-page report, but they use really large font. So if you don't want to print it, just download it as a PDF. And I'm going to go back and show you mine again. This report, I've been reading through it, like I said, every morning. And it has helped me focus on the things, during a crisis or a time like this, it's hard to do the things you're not good at doing. And in fact, it creates more anxiety and stress because you aren't good at doing some of these things in a normal market. So we need to be focusing on the things that we're good at doing. So each morning I look at my, can everyone see? Everyone can see this? Okay. This is the report. It focuses on your top 10 Clifton strengths. and does explain all the other ones, but it highlights the top 5. And on page 2, it gives you an action plan. I won't read all this, but it says start with your top 5 because they're your most powerful natural talents. So each morning, I read my top 5, do a little reflection. This is what's really important, is my blind spots. And I'll share one with you. My number 1 strength is restorative. And according to this strength, that I'm pretty good at dealing with problems. I enjoy dealing with problems, and I'm good at figuring out what's wrong and resolving it. What can get me in trouble, what my blind spots are, is others might think that all I see are their flaws and shortcomings. And remember that there are times when people need you to see their successes and give them praise. So, because my strength is looking for problems and wanting to solve them, I need to be careful about not, pointing out flaws and shortcomings in other people and help them focus on their successes. Like now, focus on your strengths, things that you're good at doing. So just that one strength has helped me be more aware, as Jessica was talking last week, about how I interact and communicate with people. Because naturally, your strengths and your talents are things you're good at doing. And you enjoy doing those things and you spend a lot of time doing them. But you've got to be aware of how other people may perceive that strength in you and how that may be affecting them. So we're big believers in this, obviously. For those of you that have taken it, please log into your account today, download that report. If you want to print it out, I recommend that too. And don't do all of them. Just start with the top 5 and just think about that and see if it resonates with you. And I promise you, you'll feel a lot better about anything you're dealing with right now, because to be resilient during this time so that we can all come out stronger once this ends, we need to be focusing and honing our skills on things we're really good at doing. Because I promise you, we're not going to go back to the way things were. And the sooner we can just acknowledge the reality of our situation, the easier it is for us to move on after it's over. Being resilient is tough. A lot of folks are ignoring the reality of what's happening right now. But the brutal facts are things are not going to be the same. They reopen restaurants, with it 10 people per 500 square feet. I mean, how are they even going to start to monitor that? People are not even going to want to go out and expose themselves to it, whether there's a risk or not. So we can't control any of that. But what we can do is be intentional about how we stay resilient during this time. And that's connecting with friends and family, focusing on the things that we can control, getting in a routine, being disciplined about that, and focusing on your abilities so you have more confidence and you're more aware of your strengths. So that's all I had today. I wanted to keep it short and brief. I'm going to leave this meeting open for another 10